Hi, Laura Aldridge here, a candidate in the Instructional Technology Specialist program at Kennesaw State University. Today I'll be sharing my experience as I attempted to implement online professional learning communities in my school. Was it a flop or was it fabulous? During the 2018-19 school year, the administrators of Chattanooga Valley Elementary School decided to take the next step in professional development. Collaborating with the academic coach and a small group of teachers, they decided to implement professional learning communities. This idea met the needs of the current faculty based on a couple of factors. One reason for implementing professional learning communities was to meet the requirements of the teacher performance standards required by the state. Additionally, the state evaluation for Georgia, called Teacher Effectiveness Keys, calls for administrators to support teacher growth and development. Having professional learning communities fulfilled this particular standard on the state evaluation tool. The second reason to implement PLCs was to focus on continuous growth and teamwork through collaborative practice. Often, teachers get into a groove and find themselves, through no intentional fault of their own, missing out on some of the good things going on in other parts of the school. A PLC brings diverse teachers together to share those victories and triumphs. Although these reasons are valid, there was one significant detail distinct to our faculty that was overlooked. Allow me to share some background about the CVE family. Many of the teachers at CVE have small or young children. In fact, 31% of the teachers in our school also have children enrolled in the school. The school does not offer after-school care, making faculty meetings and professional learning opportunities difficult to navigate for teachers of these young students. Children would come to the meetings, and the teachers would do their best to participate and be professional, but it became a tug-of-war between the professionalism and watching their children. How can I marry the implementation of a PLC group with the needs of all the teachers with young students? The solution became online PLCs. My plan was designed in line with the model of many online tutorial videos or professional development programs that I had been a part of. Online sessions tend to be flexible in time and location, often offering several different sessions if they have a group that meets, or sometimes just simply watching a tutorial that's available all the time. I could then enjoy the sessions in the environment of my own choosing, almost like flexible seating for students. I wanted to increase the involvement though. Where these online sessions may have given flexibility, the component they were missing was the interactivity, the interaction that you had with collaborating peers. I didn't want to create a sit and get type of professional development. I wanted to design something a bit more organic. I had been using Seesaw in my classroom for several years as a platform for students to share work, receive feedback, interact with others, and also house the bulk of their learning experience as artifacts in a portfolio online for others to see. By using Seesaw as an online platform for the PLCs, teachers would engage with one another and learn a new classroom tool simultaneously. Seesaw could be a place for PLCs to share information or converse with one another. Ideas, thoughts, and contributions could be delivered in multiple formats where they're curated to show progress from year to year. For evaluation, a survey was designed and developed. This survey was sent to the focus group asking questions about the levels of technology experience they had and how they use technology in their instruction. With questions based on the LODI framework, this evaluation can be given at intervals to measure growth, as it is not designed to be a final post-assessment. Teacher responses from the evaluation can demonstrate how the teacher develops over time based on several data points. What is particularly helpful about using Google Forms for the survey and the evaluation is that the automaticity of data accumulation. It's really quite beautiful to have the data be developed for you. Based on the responses, Google Forms generates charts and graphs automatically, and you can analyze the data as a whole group in summary, by question, or as an individual. The PLCs formed by CVE administration began in August with their face-to-face meetings, with children in tow. The newly formed PLCs were already receiving frustrated eye rolls from the faculty. And by January, the time I was due to roll out my pilot group, many were complaining about the organization of the groups and what to do with their children. It's not cold in their reception to the additional online community they would be part of, but neither were they on fire about it. We started off pretty strong actually, with a couple of training sessions on how to navigate Seesaw. I shared the articles selected by our principal for online discussion, and the group responded online with positive feedback. During grade level meetings, we would discuss the online PLC, how it was going, what they thought about the formatting, and if anyone needed troubleshooting. One peer mentioned that Seesaw could be used in our 5th grade summative end-of-year project. She had made the connection between the level of broad shareability in Seesaw with the Lodi framework I shared about last year in a professional development. That was an exciting moment. Things seemed to be moving along smoothly until the winter break. When we returned, the grade level went into intense teaching mode in preparation for the milestones test. March was consumed with finishing units and standards and spending every moment, it seemed, getting all hands on deck before spring break. Once April arrived, the test took over. It was downhill from there. Post-testing jet lag, followed by the end-of-year summative projects, then preparations for the end of the school with field day, parent visits, the 5th grade luau, 5th grade walkout, and finally, promotion. Whew! The online PLC faded for the school year. But it wasn't forgotten. When the school year started back up, I resumed conversations with my principal about the issues I had had the previous year. One of the problems she had encountered was the inability to share out with all the teachers the various discussions, questions, or responses PLCs were having in their meetings. She was receiving the notes and agenda responses, but no one knew what the other groups were saying about their work. She wanted a way to share out the information in a clear and concise way where everyone could be in the loop, make contributions, offer feedback, and stay well informed as a whole. At first, I thought an app could do that. But no, why not explore Seesaw for possible ways to organize the whole school's PLC so that everyone has access? And the work continues. With my administration, the Technology PLC, we hope to move soon on a collaborative Seesaw professional learning community experience. Could a flop become something fabulous? So as I reflect on my project and my experience, there are 4 things that stand out to me as grow areas. Number 1, I should have spent some time talking to my small group about the goals and the purposes of an online PLC. And I feel like I didn't spend enough time doing that. And so going into it with very clear understandings of the purpose, I believe would allow everyone to understand the why behind the work, and knowing why we're doing the work motivates us to do the work. Number 2, I should have spent some time really building up the hype and excitement for being involved in an online PLC. I did not do that. And so with this next implementation of hopefully using Seesaw as a way for all the PLCs to communicate together, we can spend some time building some anticipation, doing some emails, sending out some flyers and things like that. The third thing is that in implementing anything, I want to begin that at the very beginning of the year. I find that as teachers go through the year, they find themselves spread very thin because more and more responsibilities are piled on, and they find it quite resentful after Christmas to have one more thing to piled on their plate. And so starting from the beginning, I believe would have a really good, strong start and build motivation to continue. Fourthly, I believe that I probably should have asked for a little more authority from my principal. Perhaps if she had tied being involved with an online PLC to the evaluation process, or if she had simply just assigned some teachers to the online PLC and not the face-to-face PLC, it would have given some more motivation to be a part of that. Lastly, and this is a side reflection I guess I had, it wasn't enough to just market this as an easier way or a more convenient way to interact with your peers, even though that may have been one of my main purposes in the beginning, where meeting the needs of teachers with young children may have been my strongest motivation and reason for developing online PLCs. It wasn't necessarily the best reason for every teacher. Teachers without small children really didn't see the benefit. And so I would probably reevaluate my motivations and the reason why we would even offer that to teachers. I learned I operate best when things unfold. Having flexibility and the ability to grow ideas and actions as opportunities arise is an art form I'm good at. I can use a plan like a springboard, forming next steps quickly and efficiently, and often with good results. I feel like I grew more empathetic for leadership and coaches. They have a heavy responsibility and I honor those. And it made me more of a team player, willing to cooperate and focus on the good things that they try to implement. I've improved my personal learning. I use Twitter, Facebook, Pinterest, and my RSS feeds with intentionality. I often follow particular threads related to a tech topic for coaching or instruction, and I try to stay connected to authors I've seen at the Georgia Tech Conference. And I also try to seek out people that they follow themselves. I learned I can completely stink at something. When compared to the proposal I wrote, I completely flopped. However, the fact that I gave it a try, stepped out of my comfort zone, and made an attempt gives me a reason to smile. At the end of the day, I tried something I have never tried before, and I learned how to make it better for the next time. I learned how to take the failure, make adjustments, and try again. I tell my students that is called tenacity, and the evidence of tenacity is what I am most proud of. So where do we go from here? My plan is to take the flop and make it fabulous, either with an app or in Seesaw. I've asked our tech director for permission to use the G Suite app maker to develop an app, but if that option is unavailable, I'll press on with Seesaw. Files for the PLC in Seesaw are already created. The next steps would be to host the Seesaw training sessions and set up the infrastructure for posting and sharing information. It's been exciting to be part of a project that's frustrated me, excited me, challenged me, and stretched me all in one. I've learned so much and I've grown so much. I hope I can continue learning and moving forward, helping to shape my own teaching and Chattanooga Valley Elementary School. Thanks, KSU.